seem to be going down this road a lot lately, and these things about the non-calls, and I don't know, it looked like he reached around, pulled him down. Charlie's a strong guy, but it wasn't called in the center net, and that's that. There's nothing you can do about it after. You have to keep playing, and we did. They made the first play in overtime.
No problem. Tim?
Tough one to swallow, pill to swallow in general, just given how well you guys came from behind, made it a 3-2 game, and then everything else that happened after that.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a question there, Tim.
Yeah, it was just the tough pill to swallow in general, just with the way you battled back and then being on the run and score sheet.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you lose in overtime, any team would tell you it's hard. Put ourselves in a hole early, dug ourselves out of it. Gave up a late goal. We just discussed that. I thought the non-call impacted the play directly, and that's that. And overtime, they won a puck battle on the wall, made a play.
Rich and Jimmy?
Bruce, could you just tell us what happened to Torrey?
He went into the boards. Killorn kind of had his stick wrapped around him, so I don't think there was anywhere he could go but into the boards, and obviously lost his footing from there. Lower body injury. He'll be evaluated further. Obviously didn't finish the game, so that's never great, but see how he is in the morning.
Bruce, not to keep harping on the calls, but how hard is it to not harp on it, and to not, let the players dwell on it going forward?
Well, you have to ask the players that. We tell them not to, but we're human beings. I mean, it's game after game after game. I mean, to me, the calls, you look at the Achari penalty, it's unbelievable. The league gives you a directive at the start of the year that if you're going to go at the stick, you got to go under the stick and not on the hands, over top the hands, or he goes under the stick a foot from his hands. And you got a 6'5" guy that I think really sold it. And I think the officials have to be on top of that. They got to be on top of that call because it's not an infraction. He lifted his stick as he's been directed to do. Didn't go our way. Now we score a shorty out of that, so you almost think there's a bit of karma involved. But at the end of the day, we got to find a way to play through it. And start better so we're not digging ourselves holes because we're continually killing the first penalty of every game. We're giving up the first goal on the first scoring chance. We just need to be better out of the gate in all these areas so we're not in a hole. And then as for the calls, we're all kind of tired of talking about it. I think I heard someone say suck it up and play. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to suck it up and play. And I thought we did a good job with that tonight. There was no unsportsmanlike, no warnings. We just tried to keep playing. That's that.
Mike?
Bruce, you made some pretty significant changes on that bottom six. Did you get what you wanted, what you thought out of that?
Well, we lost, so the easy answer is no. A couple of them were on the ice for the goal against at the end, so that never looks good. But by the same token, it wasn't a huge breakdown. They kind of stuck their stick in there on a net front play that we had, decent coverage. And otherwise, I thought they played well, did their jobs. Again, we have one line gets all our goals, so that the other group, the rest of the group, if they're not finding offensively, have to prevent goals. Then obviously. And that's part of it. You got to bring something to the table. But the guys we inserted, like I said, until the last shift, if you'll critique it however you want, so, as will we, talk about it. But they won a board battle and threw a puck at the net and got a fortunate bounce, and that's that. So I don't put that all on at the lineup changes. And then let's see what we got for Sunday.
Nick?
Bruce, the 5-on-5 offensive game, the production hasn't been there of late. Is this just because you're facing a really difficult team and you need to come up with new tricks, or is there a deficiency in the Bruins' performance at 5-on-5 to not produce like we've been accustomed to?
Well, I don't know if there's new tricks. We clearly had a couple of game plan on how to get pucks back on the forecheck, and there was one play there where Schaller got all alone in front. I think they're susceptible early on, if you can win a puck, change sides and get it to the front of the net. And the guy made a great save on him. Tuukka turned around and made a great save on Stamkos. It was a good sequence of hockey. But at the end of the day, guys that have scored all year, 5-on-5, that didn't, obviously they're going to have to get inside a little more. It usually starts there when it's not going in. You got to get to the net. You got to get second chances. You gotta defend the right way, so you get, you're in good defensive posture to get pucks, you can't cheat because you haven't scored. That's the other thing that creeps in, you gotta make sure you're doing it the right way. That's it, and then some pucks gotta find the back of the net. We know which guys have scored for us in this series, and we need a little bit more, obviously, from the rest of the group.
Take two